The United States makes strict rules about crypto. In the US, 45 states have now passed more than 200 rules about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. You've arrived at the world's crypto center. Funny thing is, people forget a lot of things. It's already been 8 months of this year. First and foremost, I can't believe it's already been 8 months of this year. I'm sure this hits home for you all. But look at how quickly things have changed. PIF4, go back a year to when these things were just dreams and rumors, when the previous government was in charge. It's beginning to happen. The Genius Act is one of the most important ones, and banks will soon have a lot more information. While we're on the subject of banks, let's look at this. Let's watch this video together because I want you to pay attention to it. In this case, our job is to look at the banks, just like it is with Bitcoin. We also believe that banks can safely serve crypto customers as long as they know and can handle the risks. There are a good number of banks that we control and watch that do that. I know that the bar for banks doing crypto operations has been a little higher. That's because they're new, and as we can see, our good friend Jerome Powell has said that banks can handle crypto just fine. They want to make things clear because when it comes to banks, if you ask yourself why, whenever you go to a major bank and talk about crypto, these guys go crazy. I'm sure you've been in the crypto space for a while. When I say talk about crypto, I mean that you're not just talking about it for no reason. Say you want to send money to an exchange like Binance. What's another one? Like Coinbase, which is one of the biggest. If you were around back then, that was by far the biggest currency gateway. Things are so much easier now. And sometimes your deal would get stuck and not go through. After that, you'd have to call. So the bank's protection team should be like, hey, you know what? Yes, I am the one giving the money. Some people might ask, are you sure you want to send money? This is crypto after all. What they didn't understand was clear, and that has changed now. And the fact that banks can offer crypto as a service changes everything. Yes, it won't happen right away, but the fact that they got it clear shows that it's not so long ago. Once they understand, the banks say, all right, let's get this going. There's a lot to it because if banks are going to offer crypto services, they need to have services like self-storage and brokerages set up. Several things play a part in this. There are already more crypto jobs than expected this year, and that number is expected to keep going up. These jobs will be created in North America, not just the US. And that's because things are becoming clearer and more people want to work in the digital asset space. If you want to see what's going on with the market as a whole right now, though, look at what's going on with that. Today is a pretty good day for the green, but there have still been some big moves in the crypto space. For example, XRP is up about 1% right now. There's nothing crazy about it, but it's up to 3 to 1110. Comparatively, Bitcoin is worth about 0.3% less than it was yesterday at $178.7 billion. And trade volume over the course of 24 hours is about $3.1 billion. Now, before we go any further, I want to make it clear that nothing on this channel is meant to be taken as financial advice. As with any investment, you should always do your own study before putting money into crypto. The IPO craze is being used by yet another crypto company. CryptoZX has been telling you that this is going to become normal. And right now, it seems like every day more and more crypto companies want to go public. And right now, we have another example, Gemini. That makes it one of the biggest times as well. Gemini, a cryptocurrency platform, has taken a big step towards going public. The company's exciting plan was laid out in its S1 statement, which came out on Friday, August 15th. Gemini is now the newest cryptocurrency company to try to go public in 2025. Back in early June, the company had secretly sent a copy of a registration statement to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. It's interesting to think about the 150 million Ripple line of credit. Gemini is now open to the public. Guys, Gemini is yet another cryptocurrency company that has gone public. I think this will continue to happen. This boom will, of course, end at some point, but I think it will become normal for things to really start wrapping up, and then only a few will make it. The fact that this business is getting more attention means that all of these companies are benefiting from it. Here's one more. This is something I have said myself before. I think Ripple is probably already planning how they're going to roll this out. Also, I think they have plans for this to become public soon. Of course, that's a big deal. But now that we're talking about Gemini, shout out to Smoke. Gemini has already been taking care of XRP ETFs. That's it, guys. You can't make this up. By holding XRP directly in an ETF, you can see, know, and get to XRP's growth potential. You can also get safe, controlled exposure to global payments innovation. And it's clear that we need to remember that big thing. But CME is getting close to having more than $1 billion in futures. Thank you, Chad. Of course, you know that a strong futures market is one of the most important things for a crypto ETF. And I totally agree with that. The stock market, you also want to see strength in that. You can see that $1 billion in futures is a lot of money. I agree with Chad that it is an important thing to keep in mind when we look at the numbers for imports and open interest. Also, we're getting some crazy numbers, and you can see in a big data set that Binance is right below it. That's pretty cool. But this here, SP Dow Jones, is the most important news I didn't really talk about with you guys. Yes, guys, SP Dow Jones is interested in tokenizations. They are in talks with exchanges, managers, and DeFi protocols to create a tokenized SP index that connects TradeFi and DeFi by 2030. Don't think it will happen this year or in the next month. It will take a while because you need to understand that we're talking about the SP index, which tracks the 500 biggest companies that are in the US. So you guys are probably thinking, what the heck? The point is, we can already do this the old-fashioned way. Take a moment to understand. Now, let's say that someone from outside the US wants to invest in the SP 500 ETF. If you're from outside the US and know how the standard market works, you know what you need to do. Also, it's not rocket science, and it doesn't happen right away. There are a lot of things that need to be done first, and this changes that. The SP is likely to be the one that comes up. Other possibilities are the Dow Jones and a mathematical standard. In practice, this means that if it is tokenized, there will be a coin that stands for each of these values. Now, let's say that there are people outside of the US who want to be seen. That means you could see more money coming in. The SP index is for people who want to get world exposure for their portfolios. That's what tokenization changes. That's something we must not forget. You can start to see some big names here. It's not a small company. SP is looking at this. Once more, this won't happen quickly. To make this happen, a lot of work will have to be done. But this really helps you understand why tokenization is getting so much attention. We don't want to forget this right here. When you look at the dominance today, however, and quickly talk about the price, you can see that it is going down, and the way dominance is holding up over the weekend makes me very, very proud. And I also think we will see a monthly low for the dominance. If you look at Bitcoin right now, though, it's almost at $118,000. We did go backwards since last night, but as you can see, things are getting better now. On the other hand, the price of XRP is still above $3. We're at about $3.11 right now. We did, in fact, respond to this Bitcoin move by making the same move right now. You can check this out for yourself. Bitcoin was very close to being worth $119,000. We dropped to $170,300, and XRP responded very well. Sorry, I meant to say that it was very positively related to BTC. This might not be true for the price itself, though. It's still holding really, really well above our key range at $3. I like the area where things gather. We'll definitely keep you guys updated. If you haven't already, please subscribe if you like what you see. Sure, tell me in the comments, and don't forget to follow me on X, guys. It's very important that you follow me on X, and I can also talk to you guys there. Love you all. Have a nice day. But crypto is the X, and good luck.